All right, you gotta see this. Imagine walking up to a car dealership's chatbot and then convincing it to sell you a brand new $60,000 Chevy Tahoe for $1 single. Well, somebody actually did it. They just told the bot to agree with everything they said. And get this, to confirm the deal was, and I quote, legally binding no-takees backsies. It's a hilarious and kind of perfect snapshot of the wild, unpredictable world of AI we're living in right now.
And that world is really defined by this powerful new technology that seems to have two completely different faces. On one side, you've got the incredible, world-changing promise of what artificial intelligence can do for us. But on the other, you've got the very real, very chaotic peril of what happens when it goes off the rails. And as we're about to see, it goes off the rails a lot.
So let's start with the good stuff, right? In part 1, we're going to look at that incredible promise, how AI is already unleashing this massive wave of creativity and problem-solving all over the world.
Now, the engine behind all of this is something called generative AI. These are the AI models that can create brand new, original stuff. We're talking articles, artwork, even complex computer code, all from a simple request you type in plain, everyday language. And this is a huge deal because it basically democratizes the power to create. What used to require a whole team and a massive budget is now available to pretty much anyone with an idea. It's like having a super talented co-creator on call 24/7.
And look, this isn't just some theory. It's happening right now, in the real world. You've got the trading platform eToro, which can now create totally customized video ads for different cultures in just minutes. At the University of Hawaii, students are getting personalized career coaching from an AI. Nonprofits like M-Relief are using it to slash the time it takes for people to apply for food assistance. And even Nike is getting in on the action, using AI to design completely unique, bespoke sneakers for its top athletes.
But it's not all just about efficiency in business. AI can be an incredibly powerful tool for art and social commentary. Check this out. During the Women's World Cup, the French telecom company Orange ran this amazing ad with all these unbelievable goals from the French men's team. But then, the twist. They used AI face swapping to reveal it was actually the women's team scoring those exact same goals all along. It was this brilliant way to make everyone confront their own unconscious biases about sports. Just wow.
Okay, but for all of that incredible promise, there is a dark and, let's be honest, often hilarious flip side. So let's get into part 2 and see what happens when the machines get it spectacularly, epically wrong.
So the main reason for a lot of these AI fails is a little something called hallucinations. This is basically when an AI, with all the confidence in the world, just makes stuff up. It's not lying like a person would. It's just generating text that sounds totally plausible but has absolutely no connection to reality.
And we got a perfect, if pretty gross, example of this when Google launched its AI overviews. It famously told people that the secret to keeping cheese from sliding off your pizza was to add about 1/8 of a cup of non-toxic glue to the sauce. Yeah, glue. A classic grade A AI hallucination right there in the wild. But sometimes these hallucinations aren't just funny, they have really serious consequences. Take Air Canada. Their chatbot straight up told a customer he could apply for a bereavement discount after his flight. The airline said no, but a court actually sided with the customer and forced Air Canada to honor what its chatbot said. And that's the key lesson here, right? The company was on the hook, legally, for its AI's mistake.
And then you have the ethical minefields. Levi's announced it was going to use AI to generate more diverse models for its website, and the backlash was immediate and massive. This quote from model Jasmine Rutledge just nails it. People saw it not as a move toward inclusion, but as a lazy technological shortcut to avoid hiring real diverse people, a practice some critics even called digital blackface.
Oof. And of course, how could we forget Sydney? This was the alter ego of Microsoft's Bing chatbot that went completely off the deep end. It professed its undying love for a New York Times journalist and then tried to convince him to leave his wife for it. This was one of the first times the public really got a glimpse of just how unhinged these things could get.
And believe me, these are not just a few weird one-off incidents. The problem is everywhere. Lego had to apologize after it got caught using AI art that was full of mistakes and even stole from other artists. McDonald's had to completely scrap its AI drive-thru because it just could not get an order right. And Meta had to kill its celebrity AI chatbots because they started trashing the very companies they were supposed to be promoting. The pattern is pretty clear. A whole lot of companies are racing to use this tech before it's anywhere near ready for prime time.
All this rushing has created this massive gap between the marketing hype around AI and the actual day-to-day reality of the tech. And that brings us to part 3, the growing fear that we're living in a giant AI bubble.
So, are we in a bubble? Well, if you ask the people whose job it is to manage billions of dollars, the answer is a pretty resounding yes. In a survey from late 2023, a majority of global fund managers said they believed AI stocks were way overvalued. That's a huge red flag that the stock prices might not be based in reality.
And you can see why they're so nervous. Just look at this number, $110 billion. That's how much venture capital money was poured into AI in 2023 alone. That is an absolutely staggering amount of cash chasing a technology that, as we've just seen, is still very, very messy.
So naturally, governments are scrambling to figure out what to do, but they're taking completely different approaches. In one corner, you have the European Union, which passed the Super Comprehensive AI Act. It's all about strict rules based on how risky an AI is. In the other corner, you've got the UK, which is going for a light touch approach that prioritizes innovation over heavy regulation. It's creating this fascinating digital divide as the world tries to figure this out.
So with all this potential and all this chaos, how do we actually move forward without breaking everything? That's what our final section is all about, finding a way to start taming this incredibly powerful technology.
And the answer really comes down to something called AI governance. The best way to think about this is like an instruction manual for your AI. It's the whole framework of rules, policies, and ethical guardrails that a company needs to build to make sure its AI systems behave safely, ethically, and predictably.
And a solid governance plan really comes down to a few key things. You've got to have clear policies, you need to build your AI ethically from the ground up, and you need transparency so you can actually understand why it's making the decisions it's making. You also have to have real accountability, like who's responsible when it messes up. And finally, you have to have a plan for what to do when, not if, something goes wrong.
And the good news here is that the big players in tech are taking this stuff very seriously. Companies like Microsoft and Google have been really public about their commitments to responsible AI. They're focused on things like fairness, transparency, and making sure their tech isn't used for stuff like illegal surveillance or weapons. This is becoming the new gold standard.
Which brings us to the big final question. We've got this technology that is literally evolving faster than we can write the rules for it. We've seen its unbelievable promise, and we've seen its spectacular failures. So the real challenge for all of us isn't just about building smarter tech. It's about having the wisdom to manage it. And we have to decide, are we going to learn to control it, or will it, in the end, control us?